Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 4 years in prison. And judging by the look on his face in those courtroom pictures, I don't think he was expecting to go to jail. I think that Diddy thought that he was going to walk. And I think there are a lot of people who thought that. But that is not the case this week. He has been sentenced to 4 years, and that is for trafficking. Let's go ahead and get into this, and then we're going to show you a comparison because there is a pastor who pled guilty to sexually assaulting a minor. Did he get 4 years? Let's get into it.
Tonight, a judge telling Sean Diddy Combs he abused his power and control with women he professed to love and must serve a substantial sentence, handing him 4 years in federal prison. The judge said he considered Combs' family and career, but was not assured these crimes will not be committed again. Earlier, Combs pled with the judge for leniency. I beg your honor for mercy, he said, to be a father again, to be a son again, and be a leader in my community again. He apologized to his former girlfriends and said he took full accountability and responsibility for his actions. Combs sobbed as he turned to his mother and said, "You raised me better." What did you make of today's sentencing?
It was very painful. I was truly hoping for Sean to be coming home to his family. It was very disappointing.
Today's sentencing comes 3 months after Combs was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering.
Pause. This is the part I do want us to see, okay? So here's the conviction. Convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, which is illegal. He was acquitted on sex trafficking and racketeering. So he is not found guilty of sex trafficking or racketeering. This is important for people to really see because I see people saying this stuff online, but they're not actually looking at what the conviction was. The conviction was the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. So does everybody understand that? He was not found guilty or for sex trafficking or for racketeering. He's found guilty on providing the transportation for prostitution. Let's continue.
Sex trafficking and racketeering. Combs' lawyers had asked the judge for a lighter sentence, 14 months, arguing today he is clear-headed, drug-free, determined, focused, and remorseful. Combs' PR team producing this 11-minute video played in court today.
Put everything you can into your work.
Emphasizing his charity work and role as a father. The judge also heard emotional statements from Combs' 6 kids, who said he's a changed man. The music mogul breaking down, holding his head in his hands as they spoke. Prosecutors had asked the judge for a stiffer sentence, 11 years, arguing this is not a person who has accepted responsibility. They asked the judge to consider letters written by victims. Prosecutors also told the judge that Combs had speaking engagements lined up beginning next week in Miami, which they called the height of hubris. The defense pushing back, calling them teaching events for prisoners. Tonight, the judge telling Combs, this is hard time in prison, away from your family, but you will have a life afterwards.
Chloe joins us now from outside court. And Chloe, take our viewers inside. How did Combs react to that sentence? And will he get time served?
Tom, Combs was stoic as the judge handed down the sentence. But as he left the courtroom, he turned to his family and he said, I love you. I'm sorry. I'll be okay. He is going to get time served, just over a year, which means he's looking at a little over 3 years in federal prison. But it could be slightly less for good behavior.
We thank you for watching.
Yeah, they cut her off there. I guess they said, you got to go. So that part everybody needed to see. I agree with you guys here. I don't know who did the artwork, but those pictures, I was like, who drew this? Like, that was like wild, right? So he is going to jail, and you'll see it here with the artwork. This is what I was talking about. Like, who did these pictures? A courtroom sketches here of Diddy crying during his sentencing. That right there tells me I think he believed he was going to walk. I really do. I think he thought that he was going to get off from this, but that didn't happen. This one right here is the one that's really cracking me up. Like, who drew this? Interesting, huh? And then there's another one here. It says the courtroom sketch shows Diddy falling to his knees after hearing the verdict. This is another one that lets me know that he did not think that he was going to get sentenced to prison. More time, actually, because he already has time that is served. So 4 years he has been sentenced for his crimes here. And something else happened too. According to Diddy's lawyer, he said that Diddy was almost the victim of a stabbing in the prison. So listen to this. Diddy's lawyer claims Mogul was nearly stabbed in jail. Brian Steele claimed a guard stopped the attack before it happened. And that makes you wonder if he's really going to be safe in jail. Sean Diddy Combs' legal team claimed that he was almost stabbed by another inmate while he was incarcerated at NYC's detention center. This is according to TMZ and Inner City Press. During Diddy's sentence hearing for his federal trial, his lawyer, Brian Steele, claimed that Diddy's been targeted while at MDC Brooklyn because certain people believe they'd gain status in the jail if they were to attack him. So that is interesting there. Now, he is going to jail. He already served 1 year. So 4 years for transportation for prostitution. Not convicted on sex trafficking, not convicted on racketeering. Now we're going to compare another case because somebody else got sentenced this week. There was a pastor. His name is Robert Morris. He is the founder of Gateway Church. He just pled guilty to child sex abuse charges. Let's get into this one here.
He once preached the word of God, but now the letter of the law has caught up with Pastor Robert Morris. Cameras captured him handcuffed, escorted out of an Oklahoma court after pleading guilty to 5 counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. Cameras also captured the woman who waited 4 decades for justice. Cindy Clemenshire says Morris sexually abused her for years in the 1980s, starting when she was just 12.
People should not be able to do this to children or to adults and get away with it.
Now, more than a year after her story made headlines and led the once powerful megachurch pastor to resign, Clemenshire says she has a new beginning. Quote, "I leave this courtroom today not as a victim, but a survivor."
Yeah, I do want to say something here. Black Uni Gryphon says 4 decades. Yes, there is no statute of limitations for children. So if you abuse a child, they can still come back as an adult and file against you. So I want to remind you guys again, she was a minor. She was a kid. And this is a pastor. And I tell you guys something. Remember, you got to be careful who you trust. Because just because someone is a pastor doesn't mean they may not be a danger to your child. It just reality. But this guy, and he pled guilty. He's not saying he didn't do it. Let's continue. Wait till I tell you how much time he got. Wait for it.
I was very sexually immoral as a teenager.
Morris preached to his Gateway Church in Southlake of his past, quote, sins. They were crimes. His lawyers say while he believes he long since accepted responsibility in the eyes of God and that Gateway Church was a manifestation of that acceptance, he readily accepted responsibility in the eyes of the law by virtue of his guilty plea. Gateway declined to comment. As part of a deal struck with prosecutors, Morris will serve 6 months of a 10-year sentence, pay more than $250,000 in restitution, and register as a sex offender.
He is going to serve 6 months in jail for sexually abusing a child. 6 months. And he said he was guilty. This is why I say when people, and by the way, people are like losing it over this one. I saw some comments online. People on the left and people on the right are not, they're really lashing out about this one. The fact that this guy is only going to get 6 months for sexually abusing a child. By the way, that's just the one that came forward. Chances are, if he abused her and got away with it for as long as he did, chances are he may have abused other children as well, especially in a position like pastor where people are more likely to trust you because you're a man of God.
His lawyers say he, quote, looks forward to fulfilling this penance. The pastor, who once advised a president and preached weekly to a flock 100,000 strong, is now one of 137 inmates in a county jail. Reporting from Dallas, I'm Cole Sullivan.
And I'm here to tell you guys, like, this one, like I said, people are not, don't get me wrong. I'm telling you, people ain't happy about this, as they shouldn't be. Robert Morris, 6 months in prison for sexually abusing a child, sparks fury. And you can see what some people are saying here. People have expressed outrage over the Texas megachurch pastor, Robert Morris, only having to serve 6 months in jail after he admitted to sexually abusing a 12-year-old girl in the 1980s. He admitted to 5 felony accounts of lewd or indecent acts with a child. This is crazy. This is absolutely, again, he was the founder of one of these mega churches, Gateway Church in Texas. Her name was Cindy Clemenshire. She said she was abused. She was 12 years old. And again, he pled guilty. What people are saying, this woman here, predator pastor Robert Morris has pled guilty to sexually abusing a child, but thanks to a plea deal, why? He'll only serve 6 months in jail. How long do you think it will take before some stupid church forgives him and makes him pastor again? And here's the thing. Who's to say that this hasn't continued to happen all along? Who's to say he hasn't been abusing people this whole time? Like, you never know. I'm willing to bet you it wasn't just one person. I'm willing to bet you, because people who are in powerful positions where they are in control, if they can get away with one, it is not uncommon for them to abuse multiple people. 6 months in jail. Everybody need to speak up. Here's another one. Republicans against Trump said former Trump spiritual advisor and Texas megachurch pastor Robert Morris pleaded guilty to sexually abusing a girl. He will only serve 6 months in jail and pay. So they're speaking out against this as well. Has Donald Trump said anything about this? And going back to the Diddy thing, Diddy, it was said at one point, was hoping that Donald Trump would pardon him. Surprise. Doesn't seem like that is happening. 4 years for providing transportation, 6 months for sexually abusing a child. This is why I continue to say the justice system is not fair. There's no justice in the justice system. It's an injustice system. The criminal justice system is not fair. I think the judge, I think they want to make an example out of Diddy. The fact that they found him not guilty on sex trafficking, that's a big deal. But Robert gets 6 months sexually abusing a child. Let that sink in, folks. What'd I tell you? Everybody with the microphone should be talking about this. Everyone with the podcast should be talking about this, but they're not going to, because a lot of them only want to push the agenda that they believe fits their narrative. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.